Welcome to Elle's Nails, where it doesn't take $1,000,000 for your nails to look like $1,000,000. Today, we are going to do a monster mash of 5 different nails. They're 5 different monster faces. I am super excited because I just got a new shipment from Bundle Monster with a number of different stamping templates. So you'll see me doing stamping a lot in the near future because I have new stamping templates for pretty much every major holiday coming up until Valentine's Day. But today we are going to do these monster faces, and I have picked 5 of my favorite faces on here, and we're going to do one of each. Along with that stamping template, I also finally decided to get the actual stamping polish in black and white from Bundle Monster. And the main reason why I did that is because the last time I used my white stamping polish, and it was a stamping polish, it was from MoYou, it actually turned purple because I was doing it over a black. So I wanted to try it, the Bundle Monster, because I know it's a good product. And hopefully it won't turn purple. We'll find out at the end of this episode. And then I just have a Bundle Monster Black as well, just because it came in the pack. It was a 2-pack. For my colors today, I have 5 different colors. I have white, green, orange. This is a creamy beige, and then a black. And those are, they are Broadway regular nail polishes. They're not, where'd my black go? Here it is. They are not gel polishes at all. But Broadway doesn't have a cream colored nail polish, so I used the Sinful Color cream. They do have one in gel, but I didn't want to use any gel polishes today. So I went with the Sinful Color because it's not a gel. When I'm done with this whole thing, I am going to finish it off with my Wet n Wild matte top coat because I don't want shiny faces. So that is some other things that I'm going to use is my clear stamper. And then a scraper. This is my MoYou scraper. It's my favorite scraper. It doesn't have metal on it. It's plastic. And I also have some non-acetone nail polish remover in case I mess up. You're also going to use, I'm going to use a toothpick for something. You'll find out. It'll be hair. I'll tell you that. You can also use a little paintbrush if you don't want to use a toothpick, but that's convenient. I'm also going to have some Scotch tape handy. Not sure if I'm going to need it, but just in case. And the last thing I forgot to mention is, just because I have it handy, I am going to be using a very little bit of the Bundle Monster red polish that I got. I just picked this because it's a very nice deep red, and I just need a little bit of red, and you'll see why in a few minutes. Yes, this is going to be a long video, but it's going to look awesome when we're done. Okay, so let's get started. Now the first thing I am going to do is, actually before I even do anything else, is I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol and clean off my nails. Since my nails are completely dry, I actually painted my nails yesterday, and so there might be some oils on it, and I don't want that, so I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol and just wipe off all my nails, make sure they're nice and clean and ready for polish. And this part's optional, of course. Make sure your nails are completely dry before you start stamping them. And it's always a good idea also to have your top coat on your nails before you stamp too. It'll just be easier, especially if you mess up, it'll be easier to remove your mistakes. Alrighty, now it's time to get started. I'm just going to get a couple of cotton balls out here for cleanup because I'm sure that I will need to clean the stamping template a couple of times. Alright, so let's get started with the stamping template. As you can see, this is a brand new stamping template. I have never used it, so this is also going to be kind of a first impression. How do you know that it's new? Because it's blue. And stamping templates don't work when they're blue. So the first thing we got to do is peel off this blue protector. There we go. All right. So I am going to start with the kitty cat one up here at the top. That's going to be on my thumb, and it's going to be with the Bundle Monster White. It is the only stamp that I'm going to do in white, so I want to start with that in case there's any black debris on my stamper when I'm done with it. But before I even do that, it's time to clean off all the surfaces that we're going to work on. So I'm going to clean off the stamping template, and I'm using my little pen so that I don't get any debris on my nails. And most importantly, I'm going to clean off my stamper itself. I know it has cat hair on it, so I'm just going to make sure that it's good and clean. There we go. All right, so you don't need to cover your whole stamp. I'm just going to do a quick line at the top, and then I'm going to scrape down with my scraper and pick it up. And there's my beautiful kitty. And I kind of expected that this might happen. As you can see, you got some eyeballs down at the end there. And that is why I have the tape, the Scotch tape with me. If you have things that you don't want on there, you just take your Scotch tape and pick it up with that. That way it won't get on your nail. Now I'm actually going to redo this because the tooth there is a little messed up and I don't like that. Just wanted to make sure that it worked before I started. So I'm just going to do this one more time. It's not unusual to take a couple tries, especially when you're just starting out. Now the tape is stuck to me. Okay. Just clean off my scraper a little bit. Here we go. Oh yes, this is definitely going to be a long video. He's a pretty kitty. Uh-oh. Something happened to my thumb and it's all messed up. Let me fix it. Got nail polish on it. There we go. Alright, now I'm just going to place my... I'm going to do this off camera because there's no way I can do this on camera. Oh no. Oh no. I jumped. I'm going to do this off camera and then you'll get to see it. Alright, there's my pretty kitty. Okay, so instead of just doing all this stamping in front of you and boring you, I'm going to do the rest of the stamping the same way I did the kitty off camera, and then I will be back, but I'll show you what I'm doing first. For the index finger, I am going to do a vampire, and it's going to be this little monster right here. And then for the middle finger, that's clearly a pumpkin. And I'm going to do the classic pumpkin, which is this one right here. And then the ring finger is going to be Frankenstein's monster, not to be confused with Frankenstein, which was a person. And I'm going to use this little stamp there. And the last one is a skeleton. So I'm going to do the Jack skeleton face, which is right here. So I'm going to do that off camera and then you'll see the awesome look in a few minutes. Well, a second on your point of view. Okay, we got all our little ghosts and goblins. Actually, there are no ghosts and goblins, but all our little stamps on now. And now it's time to add a couple little accents to our nails. As you can see, stamping is messy, so if you're not using a silicone mat, which I love, make sure you have some sort of paper down or something, because it does get a little messy, especially when you're using black. So now is the time to use that toothpick. And I'm going to use the Bundle Monster Black for my accents. So I'm just going to dab a little bit of black onto my silicone mat, and we will work from there. Let me bring you down a bit so you can see my monsters. There we go. As you might be able to see now, a couple of spots on the stamper, like you can see it right there, didn't get through, so I'm just going to touch those up with the black as well as I move along. But first I'm going to do my vampire, and I'm going to give him a nice vampire head of hair. I'm going to dip my toothpick in the black, and the vampire tends to have sort of a V-shaped hairstyle. For some reason, I don't know why. So I'm just going to make it even with his nose. And just draw his hair in. And, you know, I really love my cats, but they sure bring a lot of hair to my nail paintings. So I'm just going to paint on his hair here. go. Get that cat hair. There's my Dracula. And I ended up stamping a little further down than I had anticipated, but I'm going to try to give him a little blood running down. So I'm going to take that Bundle Monster Red I showed you earlier and put a little dot of that on my silicone mat. Use the other side of the toothpick. And just get a little red going. Just on the sides of his mouth, just a little dab. Might not be able to see it when we're done. We'll see. Get a little dab on the other side too. There we go. And then the last one we're gonna do is the Frankenstein. I sure hope that I'm not upside down. My camera has turned the other way. I guess you could still see me either way. So I'm gonna do another dab of black. Ooh. Actually, I have changed my mind. I'm going to take the brush and do it straight on because Frankenstein's hair tends to be straight. So I'm just going to do a straight, kind of like you would be doing if you were doing a French tip. I don't know. I think it's really interesting. Frankenstein's monster has a very clean haircut. For a monster, you know. You would expect his hair to be a little bit messed up, but no, it's nice and neat and straight. There we go. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is before I put the matte top coat on, I'm going to put a clear coat of my regular quick dry top coat on my nails. And then I'm going to let that dry a minute and then I'll put the matte on. So for the quick dry top coat, this is a good time to see if that white is going to turn purple on us. So I'm going to paint my kitty cat, which I did earlier. And if you remember, when you do paint top coat over a stamp, you don't want to press down with the polish. You want to basically glide over top. So I'm going to do that on my kitty cat. Cap the free edge. I don't know where that shadow is. I think that's my arm that you're getting the shadow from. But there's my kitty cat. And so far it's not purple, but we'll see what happens once it dries. So I'm gonna do all my other nails and then I will be back. Alright, I'm back for my last thing. As you can see, it didn't turn purple yet, but it is a little bit faded. So we'll see what happens. As you can see, my nails did smear a bit on the top coat. I am using a different top coat than I normally do today, and some top coats are better than others for stamping. And clearly that one is not so great, and I'm not going to use it again. I was not impressed with it. it didn't dry as fast as it said it would either. So I'm just going to finish this off with my Wet n Wild matte coat that I was showing you at the beginning, if you can still remember. That was like 20 minutes ago. So I'm going to apply this to all my nails, and then they will look awesome. Oh, I almost forgot. I added red dots to my vampire, his eyes, just to make him look a little scary, since the blood is probably not going to show up very well. And once I clean up around the edges. It's alright if these smear a little bit. They're monsters. They can have blurry faces. Okay. And as you can see, it's starting to matte on me. So that's the kitty, all matte and not shiny. And then there's my vampire and my pumpkin. And I really like how the Frankenstein turned out. He looks awesome. And then there's my skeleton. All right, so that's it for this time, and we'll see you next time.